In a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, magsisimula na po ang ating Local Press Assembly 2022 and at the same time, a celebration din sa ika-87th birthday ng ating Emeritus President, Sir Johnny. So antabayanan niyo po at kayo po ay manatiling nakasubaybay. Dito lang po yan sa Usapang May Kabuluhan ng inyo pong Tito Meng. And of course, inyo pong matutunghayan, ladies and gentlemen, ang ating mga VIPs. Of course, andito makikita ninyo ang ating birthday celebrants, ang celebrant, ang ating Emeritus President, Sir Johnny, and of course, ang ating iniidolong si Sir Ray Langit. Makikita nyo, ladies and gentlemen. And in a few while, ay inyo na pong matutunghayan ang Local Press Assembly 2022. Stay tuned!
Yes, sir. That's right. The station at dinner with
sino yung sa Bicol? Si Dasman?
Dito silent mo. Dito silent.
Andiyan ba sila?
PDP na ba? Hindi pa sila
morning, everyone. Before we formally start our program, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our very honorable guest on this morning. First off, Mr. Ray Langit, a multi-awarded broadcast journalist, awarded as the Living Legend of Philippine Media by the Senate during United Nations event or anniversary. Once again, let's all welcome Mr. Ray Langit. Kahit dyan na lang po muna kayo, sir. We would like to acknowledge your presence. Thank you for joining us on this event.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Quintin Pastrana. Sir, thank you so much for joining us for today. Next up is the former Vice Mayor of Makati City, Mr. Bobby Brillante. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir. And also, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the President of Federation of Provincial Press Club of the Philippines Incorporation, Mr. Alan Sison. Thank you so much for joining us today. So they are the honorable guests for our event today, and I would like to ask for your patience. We will be starting our program in just a few minutes. For now, let's enjoy ourselves with a cup of coffee that was provided at the left side corner of our. Thank you so much.
For you to recognize.
Kailan ka dumating?
Galing na daw.
Galing ka ba Davao?
Galing na daw. 19.
Di ba Tacloban?
No.
Taga
From
Davao?
Tacloban. Di, kanto Manila din ko Davao. Pwede sa ko doon.
Sige.
Tacloban na rin.
Thank you.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning!
Mga gutom, ano ba iniintay po niyo? Ha? Iniintay niyo yung raffle, ano? Oh. Maganda ba yung raffle natin? Sino ba nakatanggap sa inyo ng information about raffle? Okay. Siguro while waiting, kasi may technical problem tayo dito, no? Lapit ako muna para ma-acknowledge natin mabuti kung saan ba magaling itong mga ating mga participant. Ito, all the way from
Davao.
pakipangalan lang po at saka publication.
Dr. Nestor Abrematia, publisher ng Tacloban Star, Manila Newsweek at saka Northern Summer Bulletin.
Wow, thank you. Palakpakan naman natin siya. Palakpakan po natin siya. Okay. Ito, ang ating treasurer, ng National Treasurer po ng PAPI. Para mapakita naman yung total, nakasara attire ka naman. O sige.
I'm Sara Barreto. Ching Barreto from Police Review Magazine, San Miguel, Manila.
From NCR. Ito, kilala yung kanyang newspaper. Tayo po tayo, sir. Pakilala po tayo.
Ako po si Ray Hunya, publisher ng Opinion.
From Opinion. Oh, so, welcome, sir. Oh, thank you. Okay, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Engineer Joe Ari from Cebu. Sa camp and the Tingog sa Lungsod radio program.
Thank you. Welcome, sir. From Cebu. So, ito isa sa mga pioneer ng APAPI. Long time no see.
Now, see now. Oh, si Johnny.
Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Johnny Nunez po from Kabuluhan, Tito. Dispatch today.
Thank you, Mr. Nunez. No? Long time no see. Yan po isa sa mga haligi ng PAPI. No? For how many years na talagang ang kanyang dito sa PAPI. Ito, from...
Hello. Hello, from Cebu. Kayo, eh? Kana ko hindi. O kaya, bahay ko naman. Hi. I'm Andy Guapo from Cebu. Publisher of Mabuhay Magazine and broadcast journalist of CCTN Channel 47, Cebu. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Andy. From Bicol.
Mr. Winis Batalyer, publisher ng Kasanggayon Night 24 Oras ngayon, Bicol Region. All the way from Sorsogon.
Hey, thank you. Ilang oras ang biyahe mo, sir?
14 hours. 14 hours.
Sige, sana manalo ka ng raffle. Bawing panalo yan. So, ba't tinuturo? Ikaw ang gusto kong ma-introduce eh.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Roy Bato. I am the KBP President of Calabar Zone Region. I used to be the Executive Assistant of Mr. Johnny Daika.
Ito, matagal na ho ito sa PAPI. Ilang taon? Ilang 19...
Actually, dati, nakikita na kita dati. Bata pa ako eh.
So ngayon, halos magkasunod ho kami doon sa city lang sa PAPI. So nung nawala sila, halos kami ng batch ang pumalit. So sabihin, mas mauna kayong tumanda. Kayo, sir.
Good
morning, everyone. I'm Excel Biang from Ilocos Norte, publisher po ng Ilocos Sentinel.
Nice to see you, sir. Sana susunod po, regular na kayo ate ng ano, ha? Ito po, isang malayong lugar pa rin nito.
Magandang umaga sa lahat. Good morning to everyone. Direct travel of 110 kilometers and a direct flight from Cebu. 1 hour with a delayed flight. So, 2 hours, naging 2 hours from Cebu. I am yours truly, the charter president of PAPI in Cebu. And the host and chief anchorman of the longest running news and public affairs program in Cebu, Tingog sa Lungsod, where our host, our birthday celebrant today was one of our Tuka awardee as one of the 10 outstanding Cebuano awardee, Johnny Dayang, our birthday celebrant. Palakpakan din natin yan. So, with that, thank you, Sir Nels. Sir Nelson Santos was with us, with the PAPI in Cebu. So, we are bringing, as promised, we are bringing the biggest delegation outside Manila, because all of us here, we are about 10 of us from Cebu Association of Media Practitioners Camp Incorporated. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer. No? We will start now kasi may information na si Secretary Tutsi, medyo may appointment ho siya ngayon after this. So, Mark?
Hello? Is everyone awake?
Yes!
A pleasant morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Local Press Assembly 2022 featuring Casal Global Biz. So we appreciate your time, taking off your busy schedules to join us on our special event for today. On behalf of the Publishers Association of the Philippines Incorporation, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. So to start off, may I request everyone to please stand up for our doxology to be followed by the singing of the national anthem.
Itatanda kami bikan mga napinhod mo. Tawat milinggob hinaya tubok leni. Heyay makiwada-wada kida kami. Heyay makiwada-wada kida
Ay, makiwala-wala. Ay, makiwala-wala. Kila kami.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wal barakatuh. Salam pa mga kiaulungan sintuhan. Kianaugan niya nabi iban ko. Kasilasan niya sa plag pakatilingkal alam. Maglasa kita niyuban. Bo Tuhan, tunggal nu sa tangdulan kami, buwanin kami wichitik maglabi-labi, lausamong rakmat nu subay panipinunsi, hangkan kita bi subay magkasih-kasih.
Sa ngalan Panginoon, pangtulog Espiritong kalakad mo.
Pangurumong kang usalat, pangkalipupanan. Pangurumong kang kamerayan, pagkang walay sikop palantang na mapagkulang. Pangtulong kalong sinilagan, pangtulong kalong mapagkatang
Diyos na mapagkalang, hiling namin ang pagpapalagana, kakalaman sa bawat nilalang. Panginoon, dinggin mo kami. O Diyos ng awa, bigyan mo kami ng kakayahan sa pagtataguyod ng pakikipag-ugnayan sa bawat isa. Panginoon, dinggin mo kami. O Diyos na mapagkalinga, mangyaring ikawan ang pagpapaunlad ng kalikasan ng tao sa mundo. Panginoon, dinggin mo kami. O Diyos na pag-ibig, tunutan mo ang aming bansa ng pagkakaisa at pagkakaunawaan sa gitna ng pagkakaiba-iba.
Panginoon, dinggin mo kami. Panginoon, dinggin mo kami. Panginoon, dinggin mo kami. Sa ngalan Panginoon, pangutulog Espiritong kalakad mo. Pumaling kami chikit, maglabi-labi. Kailan makiwala-wala kami. Kailan makiwala-wala kami.
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
May I call on the stage the presence of our Chairman Emeritus, Mr. Daeng. Please come up on stage for a little message.
My dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen of the local assembly, press assembly 2022. In the name of the conveners, the group of conveners, I declare this assembly formally open. And now, I wish to introduce to you a very distinguished personality in the person of the Honorable Susan Tots Ople, the newly designated Secretary of Migrant Workers of the Republic of the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you Secretary-designate Susan Tots Ople.
Ma'am Susan, nakamute po kayo. It all happens. Yan. Please unmute po. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay na siya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. John Hidayah, you know how much the entire Ople family loves you. We always look up to you. You continue to be one of my mentors and a good friend of course, Tambalang. And I'd also like to greet the conveners of the Global Press Assembly, the Federation of Provincial Press Club of the Philippines, PAPI, of course, Publishers Association of the Philippines, Boracay Global Press for the Philippines, and personal shout-out din po sa aking kinikilalang senator Senator May, Kyle Langit. Nagkasama din kami niyan sa DWIC. Hello din po kay Quintina, Pustrana, of course kay former Vice Mayor Bobby Brillantes, kay kapatid Alan Season, and I also saw an old familiar face at good friends, si Ray Julian. Good morning sa inyo. And to all the participants from Cebu, Tacloban, Bicol, Aklan, LGR, and other places, good morning po sa inyo. It's really an honor to be here. I am in between meetings now, but later on I have to go to another engagement. Pero hindi po pwedeng hindi kami magparamdam, hindi po pwedeng hindi tanggapin basta invitasyon na galing po sa Didaya at sa PAPI. Just a quick some updates about the new department. Yung Department of Migrant Workers po. The law creating the Department of Migrant Workers was passed and enacted last December. Kami ang pinakabunso sa bureaucracy. The first DMW Secretary, si Secretary Abdullah Mamao, was appointed last March na. So, and under the law, there is a transition committee composed of the Secretary of the DMW, the Undersecretary of the DFA, Office of the Undersecretary for Migrant Workers Affairs, Sara Adiola, and then the representatives of other agencies like from COTA, si Admin Bernard Olalia, from ILAC, Director Alice Guzmeras, and other relevant people. So, there are three conditions or three requirements for this department to be considered as fully constituted, fully operational. The first is a published implementing rules and regulations. This was done during this administration. Second was an approved staffing pattern approved by the TTM. There has been a staffing pattern submitted, but it is still pending approval by the TTM. The third requirement is for the approval of the first ever DMW budget for 2023. So again, there has been a submitted budget proposal. It is still with TTM for scrutiny and approval. So, nasa unique position po kami na meron po akong Office of the Secretary, pero kumaga nauna yung ulo, yung katawan, bubuuin pa namin. But having said that, President-elect Bongbong Marcos has given instructions to Labor Secretary Beryl West and to myself. Ang utos po ng ating mahal na Presidente ay tiyakin na walang disruption of services, tiyakin na kung ano ang kayang gawin ng dalawang departamento para sa OFWs, gagawin na natin. At napakahalaga din po sa ating Pangulo na pati pamilya ng OFWs, hindi lang yung OFWs, kundi pati mga anak nila ay maalagaan din ng bagong department. So, we are looking at the approval of the first budget hopefully before the year ends. And ang release po ng pera na yan ay by January 2023. We can, and we are planning to come up with a joint department advisory or circular para hindi po kagulo, ano po ba yung shared at ano po ba ang sole function Department of Labor at Department of Migrant Workers pagdating sa ating mga OFWs. Ang mga plano po namin para sa pagpasok ng July 1, ang putos po ng ating Pangulo hit the ground running. So, pinaprepare na po namin ang isang department order creating a task force against human trafficking and illegal recruitment. Pangalawa po, magsisystem kami para mapag-aralin yung problema at laging nireklamo ng OAC at iba pang mga proseso na nangangailangan pang bumilang at ang mga OFW sa foreign employers. Gusto po namin masisiin yung mga yan at kung maaari ay i-automate na lang. So, automate ng PICT. Titingnan din po natin yung mga kontrata, baka pwedeng gawing country-specific, at titingnan din po natin yung kasalukuyang groups. Sa tingin ko po, iba dapat ang goals pag skilled and workers sa land-based at iba naman ang goals pag medyo vulnerable yung occupation ng workers natin tulad ng mga kasalbahay. So, marami po kami kailangan gawin, marami po kailangan ayusin, kailangan din po namin ang tulong ng PAPI, ng FPPCPI, at yung iba pa po ninyong mga provincial at mga miyembro. Kasi alam po namin na bahagi ng inyong leadership, ng inyong at tagapagpilit ay mga OFW families. So we really need your help in communicating the transition process and also yung mga programs po na aming balak ilunsad under the market. Yun lang po at again, Kajani, I cannot say this enough. Kung gaano ka namin tumahal, kung gaano ka namin pinagdadasal, at pati yung anak ko na very close din sa akin, Seth, Dayang, Rising Star, sa Department of Foreign Affairs. And to all of you po, please pray for us. We beg for everyone's patience as we try to build a department that we can all be proud of. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Honorable Susan Ople, for your wonderful remark, and we will make sure to always take into your message. Now, before we continue our assembly, I would like to remind everyone to please follow our safety protocols. Wear your mask at all times, and to also please be seated at least one seat apart so that we can, be safe at all times. Now, to proceed with our program, I will pleased to introduce to you the President of the Publishers Association of the Philippines Incorporated, our very own Mr. Nelson Santos, for our opening remarks.
Okay. Bago ako mag-opening remarks, sorry. So, ang original plan ko kasi magkaroon ng open forum after nung kanyang speech. So, because of the hectic schedule ni Secretary, so hindi natin ma-accommodate yung request ng natin. Okay, anyway, good morning ladies and gentlemen. It gives me an immense pleasure to start this auspicious event by heartily welcome everybody to our keynote speaker, Secretary-Designate Honorable Susan B. Ople from the Department of Migrant Workers, Director General Charito Opesa will be joining us later. Alan Sison, the President of the Federation of Provincial Press Corps of the Philippines, Inc., Vice President of Federation Provincial Press Corps, Mr. Joseph Punay, Mr. Ray Langit, Chairman of Boracay Global Press Corps, Mr. Bobby Brillante, Mr. Quintin Pastrana, and of course, our Chairman of the Convenors Group, and also the Chairman of the Publishers Association of the Philippines, and the birthday boy, Mr. Johnny Dayang, my family, national officers, and members. Today, we have gathered here for a one-day event, Local Press Assembly 2022, featuring PEZA, Philippine Economic Zone Authority Global Peace. And we are also being shown live by different social media platforms. I appreciate and thank each and everyone who put equal effort behind the success of the organization. We invited Department of Migrant Workers Designate Secretary Susan Ople. As you can see, she discussed the plans, programs, especially sa mga OFW. And at this point, I would like to acknowledge and please stand our participants, the national PAPI officers present and current officers, please stand. Officers of PAPI, tayo po kayo para mapalakpakan na ma-recognize po kayo. Please stand to be recognized. Okay, thank you. Secretary of the Publishers Association, Mr. Mark, and the other board of directors of the Publishers Association, please stand. The participant from North Luzon, tayo po tayong lahat, please. North Luzon. Thank you. Participant from Central Luzon. Thank you. From NCR. From NCR. Participant from South Luzon. Thank you. From Visayas. Okay, thank you. And lastly, from Mindanao. Thank you. Okay, once again, I welcome you all. Have fun and thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson Santos, for introducing our guests for today's assembly. Now, let's proceed with our program. May I call on the President of the Federation of Provincial Press Club of the Philippines Incorporated, Your Honorable Mr. Alan Ticzon, to give us a message for everyone who attended this event. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Federation of Provincial Press Clubs of the Philippines, I would like to extend my greetings to each and every one of you, especially our birthday celebrant, Mr. Johnny Dayang. And I would like also to acknowledge again our guest here, the broadcast legend, Mr. Ray Langit, Sir Bobby Brillantes, Mr. Quintin Pastrana, and the President of PAPI, Mr. Nelson Santos, and the Vice President of the Federation of Provincial Press Clubs of the Philippines. A lot of questions, queries today need to be answered, need to be tackled, especially decriminalizing libel cases. In fact, I am now facing 3 libel cases in Pangasinan. With this, I would like to urge the Federation of Provincial Press Clubs of the Philippines and the Publishers Association of the Philippines, my dear colleagues, to be with us and let's fight for that libel to be criminalized, decriminalized. By the power vested in me as the National President of the Federation of Provincial Press Clubs of the Philippines, I would like to welcome you all to this local press assembly. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alan Season, for that message. Now, let's proceed with our event. But may I call on Mr. Roy Bato of KBP to give us an inspirational message for today's assembly.
Thank you very much. I wasn't expecting that I would be sending out a message. But anyway, I've learned a lot from PAPI. I've been in the industry. I started as a DJ 25 years ago. I'm from Davao, by the way. So I'm a curious young lad. I started as a DJ, and then I went from a DJ. I was so curious with the news. So I said to my station manager, "Boss, can I do the news kahit walang bayad?" O sige. And then I became, yun nga, I went to the field to do the news. Sabi ko, "Boss, parang gusto ko mag-cameraman eh. Kasi parang pogi yung cameraman." So nag-cameraman ako. Sabi ko, "Boss, gusto ko mag-edit. Pero wag mo lang gawing lalabas ako sa TV. Kasi natatakot ako sa TV." And then one time, kasi he was doing, my former boss, I think Sir Ray Langit knows him, the late Chris Sapaula, of course. He was, sir, I was the last person trained by Hila Barico and Chris Sapaula, two legends from Davao City. So one time nawala siya, so I have no choice but to speak sa TV. Iba pala sa TV, no? Kasi parang pag sinabing, okay, rolling, talagang nag-freeze ka. Kasi nag-freeze ka. Anyway, I was a DJ in the morning. I have to wake up early in the morning because I have to do the shift. Ito yung aking daily routine. That's why when I went to PAPI, I was really trained. In the morning, I have to wake up 3 o'clock. I have to travel to go to the station. 5 o'clock, I have to be there because my program was at 6 o'clock. I have to do the news. I have to read the news. And afterwards, after reading the news, I have my program as a DJ from 6 o'clock till 9 in the morning. After 9 o'clock in the morning, I have to go to the news crew where I have to go to attend sa mga I have to do the news, I have to gather the news. 12 noon, after 12 noon, balik na ako sa office, magta-type na ako ng news. Typewriter po ang gamit ko. Habang nagta-type, after ko gumawa ng news, ibibigay ko kay Chris Paula, boss ko, "Sir, i-edit mo na." Habang nag-i-edit siya, ako nagme-makeup na kasi wala kami makeup artist, mag-makeup na ako. Makeup, tapos, babalik niya, babasahin ko na ang news. Isasalang ko na ngayon sa prompter. Tapos, mga around 5 o'clock, kasi recorded yun, I have to do the news at 5 o'clock. Taping. After my taping, I'll be finished at siguro 7 o'clock. I have to do the playlist for the entire, I have to do the playlist na gagawin, susundan ng mga DJs for the next day. And I finish at 9 o'clock in the evening. And then I went home sa bahay 11 o'clock. And I've been doing that routine over and over. That's why when I went to Johnny Dayang, it was destined, by the way, because I applied, kasi I'm from TV5 Davao. When I applied sa TV5 Manila, they were looking for newscasters na Tagalog. And the problem is, my Tagalog is not that good. So I failed. So I said to myself, okay, I saw Manila Bulletin, naghahanap ng writer, so I applied. When I applied to Johnny Dayang, And then he saw my resume and sabi niya, I don't know, Mr. Dayang, if you could still remember. Sabi mo, oh, sa reference mo, nilagay mo dito, Hilabarico, kilala mo ba to? So, dalawang isip ko, if I would say yes, baka kalaban niya. Hindi ako tatanggapin. Sabi ko, yes, sir, I know him very much. He's my mentor. Sabi ni Johnny Dayang, tawagan mo nga. So, tinawagan ko. Sir, yung nag-i-interview sa akin, kausapin ka raw. And I give the phone to him. And by the way, that time, kasi independent ako, nakikita na lang ako sa kung saan-saan sa mga friends ko kasi I don't have relatives here. So, kinausap ni JPD si Hilabarico. He went out and then bumalik si Johnny Dayang and sabi niya, saan ka nakatira? Sabi ko, boss, wala. So, you pack your bags, you come back, you stay with me. So, nakatira na ako sa condo ni JPD. So, that's the time I was with JPD. I was trained na in Davao and I was eager and kasi exciting ginagawa namin eh. I wake up in the morning and then 9 o'clock we stay at the late Cabangon Chua's place in Cityland. From there, I stayed there and then uutusan ako ng mga bandang 11 o'clock, ikutin yung para kumuha ng mga fresh news. And I could still remember before with my boss, Johnny Dayang, that we argue a lot. Sabi ko, internet is the next big thing. Sabi niya, hindi. Kasi sabi ko, boss, tignan mo, ang magiging headline bukas sa Inquirer, ganito. Kasi sabi ni Sir Johnny Dayang, hindi siya maniwala sa akin eh. So, yun nga, it happened. And I created the first website of PAPI, by the way. So, but back then, I created the first website of PAPI. Pero before I created PAPI website, pinag-eksperimentohan ko ang website ng Catholic Mass Media Awards. So, I volunteered to create the website of Catholic Mass Media Awards. So, really, when I was with JPD, I was really, I was curious, I was driven, and kahit doon ako natutulog lang sa office, pinagaganon ko upuan, I never complained. Because one day I know that I learned a lot from Johnny Dayang, and here I am now. I own a radio station. I have 3 radio stations. I own a software company. I am the KBP president of Calabarzon region right now. And so much business. And all of this thanks to Johnny Dayang. Because I learned so much from the media. PR mo lang yan, kakausapin mo. So, I learned so many things. And it's very important, by the way, this gathering is very important because what I sense in today's world, yung mga kabataan kasi natin, parang wala nang interest eh. And you know what, since I own a radio station, sige, bibigyan kita ng airtime. Sila pa yung late. Dati, pag sinabi yung, I'll give you an airtime, parang, di ba, excited kayo. Ngayon, wala na eh. So, ang nakikita ko sa mga newsroom, mga matatanda na lang eh. Wala na yung mga bata, hindi na eh. So, this is really important because we have to train the young ones. Wala silang patience, napaka-sensitive, sigawan mo lang, mamaya, wala na, mag-resign na. Alam mo yung ganon? So, it's really important for us kasi if we don't do this, if we don't have this kind of gathering, wala, masisira. Sabi ko, sayang ang PAPI. It's been there for so long. Mahirap in the future, wala nang papalit. Kasi yung mga, if I could say, look at the faces now, you can see wala mga bata, oh. Meron pala, sir. That's why I think we have to do something here that, we have to do something na yung mga bata will embrace journalism. Not just TikTok, kasi right now TikTok, it's really disrupting. Social media is disrupting journalism. Yung context ng journalism yun nawawala na because of social media. Anybody can post, anybody can just do live stream. And it's very sad that I watched the live stream of ABS-CBN, 45,000 views lang, habang yung isang naglalaro lang ng game, umaabot ng almost doble, 85,000 views. na wala namang ginagawa kundi magmura at saka naglalaro. It's very sad. It's very sad. That's why I hope with this, with the Federation and everyone here, our goal is to really share and that the young ones will embrace na may papalit sa atin. Kasi kung wala, baka sayang. Mawawala yung efforts natin lahat. Anyway, good morning sa lahat and thank you for inviting. And Boss Johnny, happy birthday. And one more thing, every time meron akong kausap, government or business, what I do is do the Johnny Dayang moves. Alam na yun PR. That's my term, sir. Thank you and good morning, everyone.
Thank you po, Mr. Roy. I would also like to acknowledge that I am part of the younger generation. And it is also my agenda to promote Philippine journalism in our youth. So yes, thank you so much again, sir. So our next speaker, I would like to introduce our next speaker. He has had a distinguished career in journalism. In fact, he is someone that I look up to when I was a journalism student from the University of Santo Tomas. I could only wish to be half the man that he became with all of the achievements that he had. In fact, he is a multi-awarded broadcast journalist. He is also awarded as the living legend of the Philippine media by the Senate during the United Nations event or United Nations anniversary. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to introduce to you Mr. Ray Lang.
Hi. Hello. Good morning. Good morning po to everyone. And first is first, allow me to welcome every representatives from different organizations. I'd like to acknowledge and welcome all the members of Federation of Provincial Press Club of the Philippines. Palakpakan po natin. Publishers Association of the Philippines, let's welcome them. Boracay Global Press Corps of the Philippines, led by myself, Ray Lang. Coincidentally, I'm also representing KBP here after 21 years of service, now as Chairman Emeritus of KBP Metro Manila. And of course, I special mention to a good friend and a man who does not accept retirement. Never. It is imagination, never a policy, no let up. Talagang up to now, he would always pump pride the media activities, the indefatigable gentleman, our good friend, the head convener of the group, Mr. Johnny Dayang. Happy birthday, Mr. Johnny. Likewise, we'd like to acknowledge the President of PAPI, Mr. Nelson Santos. Pagpapalad po natin, huwag po kayong mahihiya sa mga palakpak. Huwag masyadong matipid. We need that. Okay? Thank you so much. Mr. Alan Season, President of FPPCPI. Palakpakan po natin. The inspirational message of Mr. Roy Bato. Palakpakan po natin. Thank you, Mr. Roy. Very inspiring. Parang feeling ko, nagsisimula pa lang ako ay doon sa mga narrate mo, nag-throwback ang mga experiences po natin. Of course, special involvement of our colleagues, Mr. Quintin Pastrana and Bobby Brillante. Palapakan po natin. Alam po ninyo na bakit kanina ang higil po sa no retirement. Kung sa bagay, yun po ang ating career, ating profession, ating field. Ang media of all ang walang retirement. Do you agree?
Yes.
Because I remember, even during the time of our mentors, in the names of Johnny De Leon, Chiadelli, alam po ninyo, during the time of Johnny De Leon, I remember, I was then a neophyte ABS-CBN Radio Patrol reporter. Si Johnny literally left the career on his last day of broadcast, binitbit siya patungo sa hospital sapagkat siya po ay talagang severely suffering from his sickness, and that was his last broadcast, pero pinipilit pa rin niyang mag-save papawin. In the likes of Chadeli, when I was with DZRH, si Chadeli po, literally, naroon sa loob ng booth, doon sa loob ng studio, recording her drama, nag-collapse hanggang mawala ng buhay. My colleague, Joe Taruk, we were together in Radio Patrol ABS-CBN. I was the one who recruited him to join DZRH. Na-atake na siya. Handicap na po siya, nagpo-broadcast pa rin. Kalahati ng kanyang katawan ay kinakaladkad niya, still nagpo-broadcast pa rin because he loves the profession. Kaya walang retirement sa media. Yes. Okay, let me just ask you a simple and very candid question. How do you describe media in one word? How do you describe media in one word?
Respectful.
Respectful? Is this a profession?
Profession.
Profession. Is this a service?
Yes.
Just like in public service, is this fun?
Yes.
Is this challenge?
Yes.
Sana all. You know, it reminded me of some incidents, some very challenging event in the past. Throwback ng konti, mag-throwback Friday tayo. You know, I was invited by Ping Lacson. Ping was then the PAOK TF. He was working with the Vice President then, Joseph Estrada. They invited me to cover an event in Santo Tomas, Batangas. This is a very historical event because dito binaon yung kinidnap at pinaslang na isang PIR director by the name of Director Matic. And they have to exhume the body. Pagdating po namin dito sa Santo Tomas, Batangas, pinaulanan po kami ng grenade launcher ni Hector Mabilangan, then leading the NPA in Southern Command. Alam po ninyo, facing such challenge and trial in your career, kakaiba kapag ka na-survive mo at kapag ka nalusutan mo. Where is the fun? Ang fun nang magsalita na then the Vice President Era Estrada. Tanda ko ba, very vivid in my imagination, ang sabi niya, lalaban tayo. Lalaban tayo. Lalaban tayo. Pero dahil alas 12 na, kakain muna tayo. You know, it was fun covering such event. Ang sabi ko nga ron kay Senator Ping, hanggang ngayon hindi niya nakakalimutan, sabi ko sa kanya, Senator, I have my cameraman with me. Wala pa ako nakukuha footage doon sa excavation ng body. We have to proceed. Sabi niya, teka na. Nagpapaulan nga ng grenade launcher. Sabi ko, but we have to cover it. As a media man, we have to show it on television. Kasi may palatuntunan at the time, yung action line sa RPN9, together with Doc Puno and Montulfo. Kinakailangan, ilabas ko yun because that was my segment. So, sabi ni Ping Lacson, sige, pasamahan kita sa aking mga security. We proceeded to the land area, pero siguro instinct sa atin, yung mga nagko-cover, doon sa ilan sa iyo, sa mga sanay sa mga field coverages, instinct sa akin na may mangyayari dito. Sabi ko, ang ginawa ko, sumandal ako sa isang acacia tree para i-cover ang aking body. True enough, sunod-sunod na putok. Bang! 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 Walang tigil na putok. Lahat ng mga leaves ng punong kahoy bumabagsak sa aking bumbunan. But I started doing my coverage. Makibigan, kasal ko po nagpuputukan rito. Hindi naman alam kung tatakbo kami o yuyuko o dadapa. Ito pong putok na ito ay nagagaling po doon sa likuran namin. You know, my cameraman by the name of Jimmy Dasal was a very, very creative gentleman. Hindi nawala ang focus sa akin ng camera. Tinutukan ako. Pagka pala ganon kataas ang tension, totoo na parang nagiging incredible hook ang katawan mo. Nag-expand. Ang buttons tumitilapon. I was wearing a simple souvenir from my father, but it was Rolex. Tumilapon ang Rolex sa kaliwa. Lahat nagtatakbuhan sa kanan. Guess kung saan ako nagpunta. Sa kanan, tatakbo to save your life, o sa kaliwa kung saan tumilapon ang Rolex. Ang sabi, Rolex. Kinapang ko ang Rolex. Dahil magkakalitan ako ng father ko. As a souvenir, I saved this Rolex and gave it to my son, J.R. Lamit. He is there. The witness is there. I gave, sabi ko, anak, save this, treasure this, because this is very meaningful sa aking career. Nang ako po ay makarating doon sa safe area na lahat ng mga security sa may dala-dala mga baril ay naroon, nakita ko ni Ping Lacson at ang sabi sa akin, look at this guy. Humarap sa security niya, sabi niya, kayong lahat may dala-dalang baril, nagtakbuhan. Sa Ray Langit, walang dalang baril, nagpaiwan. Pero hindi ko sinabi sa kanya, kinuha muna ang Rolex. You know, it's fun. It is very challenging. It is a career, a serious career that you have to deliver something to the citizenry. Alam niyo, I remember it was a 7.7 earthquake of Central Luzon. Dito po ay nag-collapse ang Hyatt Regency Plaza sa Baguio. Tumawag sa akin ng isang reporter from Baguio at ang sabi, Mr. Ray Langit, Meron pong nadaganan dito, meron pong mga naipit doon sa nag-collapse na Hyatt Regency. Meron pong mga volunteers na gustong i-save ang lives ng mga nadaganan. Pero kailangan po nila ng gas mask. Hindi sila makapasok dahil umuusok po yung Hyatt Regency. Sabi ko, it will be difficult kung magaling dito sa Metro Manila ang gas mask. Mag-sourcing ka, maghanap ka riyan. Sabihin mo sa akin kung saan po pwedeng makakuha. Naghanap muna siya, nagtanong-tanong siya. Meanwhile, tinawagan ko po ang ating White House. Ito po ang extension, as you well know, ito po ang extension po ng Malacanang Palace doon sa Baguio. Nag-ring ang telephone at sumagot sa akin. Kilala ho ninyo yung sumagot. He was the acting press secretary at the time. At kaibigan pa natin. At ang sabi niya sa akin sa telephone, "Ray Langit, hindi naman totoo ang earthquake niya. Walang earthquake. Walang nagdagara." It was on the air over DZRH na nag-viral. You could just imagine a press secretary answering you on the air. It was live. Later on, nalaman ko sa mga po ng reporter na yun na mayroong mga gas mask mismo sa himpilan ng pulisya. Nataon naman ang dilema, wala mismo ang hepe, wala ang mga pulisa, sabagat silang lahat ay affected po ng earthquake. Kinandado na lamang nila ang himpilan ng pulisya. On the air, openly and publicly, I gave instruction to the reporter, sirain ninyo ang kandado, kunin ninyo ang gas mask, kinakailangan niya ng mga minors na magsasave ng lives, and I will take full responsibility. Nasave po namin 31 na mga naipit sa bumagsak na Hyatt Regency. Binigyan namin ng recognition at pagkilala ang mga volunteers sa mga minors ng Benken. Binigyan po namin scholarship bilang pagkilala sa kanilang heroism. Binigyan namin ng scholarship ang kanilang mga anak. In partnership with Ambassador Antonio Cabangon Chua. Paring Johnny, you remember that. Alam po ninyo, pumutok ang Mount Pinatubo. I was there to cover the event. I was using a camera para kunan po ang rampaging lahat na nanggaling sa Mount Pinatubo, but sa tulad bumagsak po ang isang tulay. Nalaglag ang mga tao. Nung makita nila ako nakasakay sa helicopter, nagsisigawan ang mga tao, "Ray Langit, Ray Langit, ligtas mo ang mga nalaglag, ligtas mo, mamamatay sila." I tried my best to convince the pilot. Pilot then was a certain Antonio Francisco. He was then a teniente, lieutenant lang po siya. Hanggang ngayon, hindi niya kakalimutan. Ngayon, malapit na siya maging general ng Philippine Air Force. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, "Mr. Lieutenant, fly me exactly doon sa rampaging lahar at i-retrieve natin ang mga nalaglag sa tulay." Nung una, medyo hesitant siya na sundin ang aking instructions. Why? Because hindi ko naman alam kung ano po repercussion. Sapagkat kapag idinikit mo pala ang helicopter, mismo sa buhangin, ihigupin ng propeller ang buhangin. Ang lahar po ay buhangin. After na maritrip po namin sila Dr. David at yung mga kasamahan niya, we are about to fly 6 feet. Nag-collapse po yung helicopter at kami na ang iniligtas. I survived that. I survived this another challenge because meron pa pong misyon si Ray Langit na magsalita rito sa PAPI event nito. Hindi naman kailangan sa mga senior sa inyo, even during the time na wala tayong mga gadgets, wala pa tayong cellphone, wala pa tayong texting, we created already the so-called Libreng Tawad, bridging the gap between the families in the Philippines at mga workers sa Middle East, na tinawag namin to sound with love, na tinanggap at nirecognize no less than ni Pope John Paul II, na ang sabi ni Pope, this is service to mankind. Only recently, nang nagkaroon ng armed conflict sa Afghanistan, ito po nangyari sa Afghanistan ay medyo unique. Sapagkat naipit puro ng ating mga kapwa Pilipino, there were, aside doon sa mga naritrip na una, there were 30 na naiwan po rito sa Kabul, yung pinakasentro po ng Afghanistan, nang mag-take over ang mga rebels. Sila po ay nagtangkang lumabas ng Kabul. Dala-dala nila ang papel na nanggaling po sa ating embassy. But pagdating po sa airport, hindi ni-recognize mismo na nagbabantay na rebel. Sila po ay pinaalis sa area, pinaglakad ng 7 kilometers, continuous firing, continuous tear gas. Sila po ay traumatic na nag-share ng sad story sa inyong abangin. Nung matanggap ko po, awang-awa po ako. Tama-tama, nariyan si kanina, napanood natin, si Secretary Tusople. Alam po ninyo, importante ang departamentong yan na na-create. Because at the time, I'm not saying na hindi kaya at hindi marunong ang mga departments po ng national government. Kaso lang, nagka-clash sometimes sa mga effort ng Department of Foreign Affairs, ng Labor, ng OWA, but everyone are moving, exerting effort. Pero hindi lang magtugma. Ang sabi ko po, kay through the coordination ng ginawa po ni J.R. Langit, he is a witness to this. Tinawagin niya si Senator Bongo, at ang sabi ko, Senator, we will design an exit effort para po ma-retrieve natin ang 30 workers rito ng mga OFWs sa Afghanistan. Pero kung sakasakaling sumablay, yung plano po namin, can we be assured na meron pong backup na magagaling sa inyo? Sabi po sa amin, ni Kuya Bongo, go right ahead, Sir Ray, we will be at your back. Ituloy lang po ninyo yung plano po ninyo. Sige po, magmomonitor kami. True enough, inorganize po ng kasangga team namin nila JR ang aming effort. 5 checkpoints pinadaan ang ating mga OFWs. Pagdating sa airport, pinapasok ang ating mga OFWs. Pagdating sa aeroplano, Pakistan Airlines, pinasakay sila. Lumipad sa Pakistan, bumalik ng Pilipinas, nakabiling na ngayon ng kanilang mga pamilya because of the effort of a private group called Kasangga Team, led by J.R. Langit and Ray Langit. Marami po nagtatanong sa amin, kahit na sila Kuya Bong, ano ang ginawa naming procedure, bakit pinayagan sila ng Taliban na makadaan sa mga checkpoints? Bakit pinayagan daw ng Taliban nung una ay papasukin sa airport? Bakit pinayagan? Ang sabi ko na lang, Sir, ang aming experience, ang aming effort ay off the box kung tawagin, non-traditional, hindi po papayagan sa formal na paraan. Ang gusto namin malaman, ano ang ginawa mo, bakit pinadaan sila roon? Sir, pardon us, with all due respect, sila po ay pina-escortan ko ng Taliban. Taliban to Taliban, sino ang kukwestiyon sa kanilang kagagawan? Sila po ay ligtas na nakabalik na sa Pilipinas. Alam po ninyo, sinashare ko lamang po ito sa inyo, ang ilang mga effort and challenges and trial ng pagiging isang media man. I remember my son, my eldest son, Reister. Kapisanan niyo ang nangyari kay Reister. Siya po ay supposedly following my footsteps. Nung sabihin sa akin na Reister, Dad, meron po mga nagkakasakit, nangangamatay ng mga bata sa Singnapan, Palawan. Hindi nila alam kung anong rason. Pwede ba akong pumunta roon, Dad? Magsama ako ng health workers, ng mga frontliners, at malaman natin kung paano may tutulong natin. Pinayagan ko po siya. Ngunit, hindi ko alam kung ano magiging repercussion sa challenge nito. Siya po ay tinamaan din ng malaria. 3 sa kanila ang nasawi. Mahapdi masakit sa isang ama na tulad ko na payagan at maging cause ng kamatayan ng isang mahal sa buhay. Pero hanggang ngayon ay sariwa pa rin sa aking alaala ang iniwanan niyang message. Meron siyang iniwanang message sa amin ni JR na hindi na yung makalimutan. Doon sa message na yun na may click na isinulat niya bago siya nagtungo sa Palawan, sa Singnapan. Ang sabi niya sa kanyang message, I have seen the value of helping others. But the most rewarding as a media man is not only exposing the wrongdoings of others, but the smile and acknowledgement you receive from people whose lives you have touched and you have changed in some wonderful way. Ang message na ito, bitbit po namin hanggang ngayon. Hanggang ngayon, na kami po ay naglilingkod sa bayan, yun po ang aming inspirasyon in the name of Reister. Kaya po, yung kanyang tinayong foundation, Nakasanggabon Langit Foundation, ay buhay na buhay at ipinagpapatuloy po namin ang kanyang advocacy. Alam po ninyo, when I mention profession, service, fun, challenge, nakalimutan ko idagdag ang consequence tulad po ng nangyari sa aking anak. We have to be ready sa lahat ng yan. At ang billing ko naman po, bilang pangwakas, kanina nabanggit nga ni Mr. Roy na meron pang mga kabataan na narito, aside sa mga senior, aside sa mga veteran, one of these days ay tatransfer namin sa inyo, sa mga kabataan, ang lahat ng mga advocacy na sinimulan ng ating mga seniors, ng ating mga veteran, sa industriya ng pamamahayan. Ang pakiusap lang po namin, ipagpatuloy po ninyo ang aming hangarin na i-uplift ang standard, hindi lamang ng print, ng broadcast journalism. At lalo na ngayon, meron pa tayong additional challenge. Nariyan ang social media. Mas sikat ngayon sa atin si Marites na dapat dating tugunan. If you are telling the truth, you won't get wrong sa ating trabaho. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat po, Sir Ray. Indeed,
you are a remarkable footprint of excellence, a shining exemplar of broadcast excellence. Alam niyo po mga kaibigan, si Sir Ray is just like the most of us, no? He practically live, breathe the news, no? And practically live in the newsroom, like Roy and like most of us. A self-made man. Maraming salamat po muli. At this point, we would like to call on our friend, our brother also, representing the Visayas. He is the founding president of the Aklan United Media Association and the founder of Todo Media, a multimedia platform which started in the province of Aklan. It's now making waves in the Western Visayas region. Before we take a breather, please allow me to, sir, to ask Sir Jonathan Cabrera, the man who brought the phenomenal transformation of the Aklan media industry. Sir Jonathan?
Thank you, Rowena. Hi. Good morning. Yeah, to our fellow members of the 4th state. Sir Ray, langit, sir. Idol. Kami po mga taga-probinsya, na-inspired po kami pumasok sa pagiging media man, pagiging broadcaster dahil po sa inyo.
Thank you po. Thank you po.
At kinagagalak ko po na personal po kayong makita at makasama sa okasyong ito. I'd like to take this opportunity, sir. Thank you po. Kay Tatay Johnny Dayang, happy birthday. And masaya po kami, ako na prime mover, no? At talagang nagpursigi ng event natin na to na local press assembly is our very own, no? From the province of Aklan, Kabuluhan. Kababayan namin si Tatay Johnny Dayang na inagalang at nirespeto lalo-lalo na ng mga miyembro ng multimedia dito sa Imperial Manila. Palakpakan natin. Happy birthday, Tatay Johnny Dayang. Wala naman po akong masyadong maibibigay na inspirasyon. Kami po mga taga-probinsya, kami po actually ang nai-inspired sa inyo. Kaya sabi ko kay Noel, mas gugustuhin kong makinig lang doon sa likod. Kasi kung ano man po ang nagagawa namin sa probinsya, ito po ay base rin sa mga na-observe namin na kaganapan dito sa Mega Manila in particular. Pangarap lang po namin na sana ay maipagpatuloy at lalo pa natin palakasin yung provincial press, no? Masaya ako na nalaman na meron tayong Federation of Provincial Press and under the leadership of the President, Mr. Alan C. Ticzon, sir. Nice meeting you, sir. Hi, Sir Nelson, no? I forgot to acknowledge kaibigan din natin from PAPI. Naghihintay po kami sa probinsya kung ano po ang mga programang gusto ninyong ipatupad para kahit pa paano po ay maging kaagapay din kami, lalong-lalo na sa mga challenges na kinakaharap ngayon ng totoong mga media practitioners, no? Kasi sa ngayon po, ang dami nang nagpapakilalang media men, no? Ang dami na po with the advent of the social media, na-mention din ng mga speakers natin kanina na kahit sino na lang ngayon, pag meron kang social media account, mag-broadcast ka lang, gawan mo lang na magandang title yung page mo, no? Maya-maya may mga followers ka na and pwede ka nang kilalanin at pwede ka na rin magpakilala na ikaw ay isang media man. No? But yung ethics and yung professionalism talaga ng pagiging media man na totoo at motivated talaga no na maging watchdog sa gobyerno, maging miyembro ng fourth state, maging boses ng ating mga kababayan lalong-lalo na ng mga kulang no at nasa napapag-iwanan sa ating lipunan. Kaya tayo po ng mga media men, hindi rin natin masisi no yung ating mga kasamahan na minsan nangangarap na lang tayo at nagpupursige kahit hindi naman talaga natin karir yan na pinapasok natin ang politika. Mr. Ray Langit, sir, no? Di ba? Kasi marami tayong mga frustrations, lalong-lalo na kami sa probinsya. And ako rin po, ilang beses na rin akong nag-attempt na pasukin ang larangan ng politika. Hindi ko naman kailangan pero ginagawa ko kasi nakikita natin ang tunay na kalagayan ng ating mga kababayan, lalong-lalo na sa mga kaprobinsyahan. So, once again, kami po na mga provincial, na mga miyembro po ng press, no, multimedia, ay nag-aabang lang po ng mga hakbang na gagawin at planong gawin ng ating mga organisasyon, kagaya ng PAPI, kagaya ng Federation of Provincial Press Club, no? And of course, the Boracay Global Press Co. By Ray Langit. Boracay po talaga ako, Sir Ray. No? My residence is right there, no? Sa island of Boracay. Salamat, magandang umaga po, and God bless the Philippine Press. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much again, sir, for our wonderful speakers. I cannot believe that we are graced with their presence, with their amazing presence. And on behalf of everyone here today, I want to reach out my thank you for Mr. Ray Langit for sharing your journey with us. And I can assure you that your insights and your experience with your journalism career is, I'm sure, left a huge impact on everyone here today. And I would also like to announce that there's still hope for us. And since I'm part of the younger generation, I can assure, sir, that we will continue to uphold the legacy that you established and to also further promote the excellence of broadcast and print media journalism here in our country. Thank you so much, Sir Ray Langit, again for your presence. Let's all give him a warm round of applause, please. Okay, so let's proceed on our assembly. May I call on Mr. Bobby Brillante for as a moderator for our open forum, sir. Thank you. Let's all give him a warm round of applause as well. And as an introduction, Mr. Bobby Brillante is a broadcaster. He's also a public servant, and he is also from the University of Santo Tomas, right, sir? Yes. From the University of Santo Tomas. Sir, may I ask, what was your program back in UST? What was your course? AB Economics. Yes, sir. Thank you. So, again, Mr. Bobby Brillante to be the moderator of our open forum. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Am I supposed to moderate already or say something first?
Say something first.
Yes, thank you. Salamat sa ating pinakaguro, si Johnny Dayang, sa pagkakataong ito. At of course, yung gininto ang presence ni Mr. Ray Langit. Maraming salamat at ako'y pinalad na abutin yung mga kagaya ninyo, mga gininto ang tinig at gininto ang personalidad sa broadcast media. Alam niyo po, naka-short pants pa ako noong araw. Nagtitin pa rin Rowena, Mario Garcia. Di ba? Yung mga pagka nagra-rally kami, sila yung nagko-cover sa mga rally namin. At dahil sa kanila, nababawasan yung pagpalo sa amin ng mga pulis. Dahil sa presence ng mga media na sumasabay sa amin. Who are literally covering us. Hindi lang to cover for the news, but giving us cover. Kasi pag kami presence ng media, nagbibehave ang pulis, di ba? Hindi na mapansin. Sa halip na sila maging malupit sa pagpalo at mga transyon ng araw, yung mga metrocom. Pag nakakita sila ng radio broadcaster, kasi ang TV ng araw, hindi pa lumalaban sa pukpukan Sila, yung mga radio broadcasters, yung mga naririyan sa karsada. So, medyo tumitino sila. Yung sa halip pa, paluin ka na lang aambaan ka na lang may pagkakataon ka pang mga takbo. So, yun ang kahalagahan ng mga radio broadcasters sa buhay naming mga isinilang ng dekada 60 at dekada 70 sa karsada. Maraming salamat. At to our theme for today, talaga namang napakahalaga. Estudyante pa lamang po ako, I always thought of journalism as a soul of a free society and journalism as a conscience of a free people during a despotic regime. Kasi kung wala po tayong freedom of expression, freedom of the press, hindi po magbibigyan ng buhay ang demokrasya. It is the journalist, the noble profession that makes democracy work, and it is the free press that gives meaning to our freedom. Kaya po pinaglalaban natin ito at siguruhin natin na manatili. For a while, we lost our freedom, but we regained it in 1996, and we continue to enjoy the blessings of our struggle. At ito po ay mas mapapalawak pa natin kung bibigyan natin ng katugunan ang panawagan ni Johnny Dayang na magkaroon ng mga local press clubs sa buong bansa. Sa bawat municipality, sa bawat syudad, sa bawat probinsya at sa mga rehiyon. It is only the local press clubs that guarantees that there is freedom in every province, in every city, and every municipality sa ating bansa. Kaya, suportahan po natin ang ating sinisimulan ngayon at palaganapin natin ang diwa at panawagan ng ating kaibigang Johnny Dayang. Maraming salamat po. At magandang umaga.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bobby, for that wonderful message. And I think we can proceed now for our open forum. Yes. Sir, Mr. Bobby, can I call you again here on stage to start our forum? And to everyone, please be seated. Thank you.
I think we have Mr. Ray Langit as the chair for the plenary, and my job is just to navigate or traffic the discussion. So can I give the chair to Mr. Langit to open the plenary?
Okay. Simulan na natin ang ating open forum. You can just identify exactly kung sino po ang tatanungin natin at kung sino po ang magtatanong. Ha? Bago Bobby will guide us and will identify exactly who would be raising their questions to our resource persons.
When you raise your hand and recognize, just state your name, your organization, publication, or whatever. Para po sa ating for the record because we are being taped. Salamat po. Mr. Alan.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair, please recognize Alan.
All right, Mr. Alan, you have the...
Thank you, Sir Bobby and Sir Ray Langit. I just want to make a follow-up with my query and suggestion actually to decriminalize libel. I would like to know the pleasure of the body if you are willing to make a letter or we will have to lobby in the Congress with regards to this libel case. Tayo ho kasi ang tinatamaan lagi. So, sa inyo muna sir, ano ho ba ang pananaw ho ninyo? Kailangan po ba na ito ay tayo naman ay mabigyan ng laya bilang mga media practitioner, Sir Ray?
Yeah, thank you. Let me just start by saying, sa almost 50 years ko sa broadcast, ay nagkaroon din tayo ng mga encounters hinggil ito sa mga attempt na siyempre hindi umaalis lalo na yung mga involved sa politics, involved sa public service, talagang masyadong sensitive at saka sila ay, ano description natin doon? Ang kanilang reaksyon kapag ka meron tayong mga commentaries, especially. Pero kadalasan nangyayari ito sa mga lalawigan. Sabi ko nga, doon sa mga previous na mga lectures ko, sa mga chapters ng KBP, especially in the provinces, one initial move that we have yet to do, while it's true na meron mga effort din na magkaroon ng measure at legislation tungkol sa libel, kinakailangan din bigyan natin ng equal exposure yung mga nasasagasaan at yung nababatikos. Alam mo, yung onion skin, hindi natin maalis yan sa mga government officials, especially sa mga lokal, di ba? Ang mga lokal kadalasan ang masyadong very reactive. Yeah. Para bagang ayaw na ayaw nilang sila ay napupula, ayaw na i-raise ang mga negative observation ng community sa kanila. Siguro, isang way na aking pananaw na kung sino man ang maging subject ng inyong editorial o ng inyong commentaries, bigyan natin, open up, at sabihin sa kanilang, you're welcome to give your piece para tugunan ang mga accusations nito. Then, medyo lalamig na konti. Isasite ko lang po sa inyo ang isang incident, actual incident ito na nangyari. I remember General Ray Beroya. Familiar naman po kayo kay General Ray Beroya. This is during our public affairs program na naroon si Don Puno, ako, at saka si Don Tulfo. We were the three anchor on the program Action 9 ng RPN9. Magko-closing na po ang show. Merong inabot sa aking short note yung mismong coordinator ng program. Nakalagay doon sa short note, uhulihin si General Ray Beroya. Now, lumabas na ang warrant of arrest against him. So, binasa ko as is. Walang dagdag, walang bawas. Makinig meron po tayong late breaking news. Kung kilala ho ninyo si General Beroya, meron po lumabas na warrant of arrest sa kanya. At ito po ay validated galing po sa aming staff. Sumingit ngayon si Mon Tulfo. Knowing Mon, ang lingwahe niya ay kakaiba sa lingwahe ko. Ang sabi ni Mon sa kanyang reaksyon, tarantado pala yung tao niyan eh. O yan, inuhuli ka. O, gago. We didn't know that Ray Veroya was watching at the time with his family. Nanonood po sa television. Nag-ring ang telephone. Ako ang iningi para sagutin ko siya. Kinausap ko siya. General, Ray Langit, sabi sa akin, sabihin mo sa mga kasamahan mo, magbanggit sila ng lugar at oras. Tayo ay magtutuhil, magpaparilan tayo. That was the instant reaction of somebody who was a subject of a short breaking news. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, General Veroya, sir, with all due respect, we would like to hear your side. Please come over tomorrow the same time, give your piece. Napasipay si Ray Veroya. Alam mo niyo, natural. Kapag ka ikaw ang naging subject, impromptu, live, at minura ka on cam, gagawa ka ng ibang paraan para makabawi. Pero kung mabibigyan mo siya ng tsansa, then this will be another way of addressing the problem of the country. Thank you, Alan.
Mr. Chair, can you please recognize Jonathan Cabrera?
Yes, Mr. Cabrera, please. You have the air. You have the...
With your kind indulgence, sir. At this point, we would like to acknowledge first the presence of Director General Ching Plaza, of PESA, our partner of the partner of the Local Press Assembly 2022. Thank you po, ma'am. At this point also, we'd like to, with the topic at hand, we would like to request Mr. Jonathan Cabrera of Todo Media, who is actually prepared to sponsor a resolution for the Local Press Assembly regarding the decriminalization of libel. So,
Mr. Cabrera.
Mr. Jonathan Cabrera, please. Are you still around?
Mr. Cabrera is recognized.
Thank you very much, Sir Ray Lakit, and my fellow members of the fourth state. Yung chilling effect po kasi nitong libel cases, particularly sa mga kasamahan natin, mas lang ramdam na ramdam po sa mga probinsya, sir, no? Lalong-lalo na sa mga komentarista. Ako po, 25 years ng komentarista sa probinsya, no? From Bombo Radio hanggang sa naging RMN, at ngayon po ay nag-decide na rin ako na magkaroon ng sarili kong radio station, no? Nag-affiliate lang sa mga franchise. Marami na pong ganito sa probinsya. At ang reality po kasi sa provinces, dahil sa liit ng lugar, no? Halos lahat na magkakakilala. When you expose or tackle issues, lalong-lalo na sa mga local leaders and politicians, halos lahat konektado, no? May mga instances, may mga cases din, yun nga, no? Yung ating paglilingkod sa bayan, hindi naman tayo masyado nabibigyan ng recognition dyan, lalong-lalo na sa mga provinces. Wala po kami dong mga award-winning bodies and things like that. No? At ang pagbibigay ng boses sa ating mga kababayan, minsan po ang premyo pag nasa probinsya ka ay bala. Papatayin ka, isa sa mga kasamahan po namin ay pinatay actually. No? Sa Aklan pa lang, in 25 years kung pagiging broadcaster, dalawa na po ang pinatay. At ako rin po ay naka-experience na rin ng mga attempt din na patayin. Pero salamat sa Diyos, buhay pa. Sa ngayon po, I have 3 libel cases. Yung isa po ay na-dismiss sa fiscal level. Yung isa is ongoing pa rin. At yung dalawa ngayon ay nasa korte na. At napakahirap kasi kapag may issue ka, Sir Ray, no? Alam naman natin yan na pilot ka ng libel case at napakahirap po no, na humarap sa mga ganitong mga kaso na sa totoo lang naman, wala naman tayong ibang intensyon kundi bigyan lang talaga ng boses ang ating mga kababayan. And I would like to take this opportunity na nagsasama-sama tayong lahat. PAPI, may mga taga-KBP na rin dito, narinig ko kanina, the Federation of Provincial Press Club. Kaya sabi ko, I think this is the time na rin na papasok tayo sa bagong Congress hanggat maaga pa kasi minsan ang batas, tapos na yung isang Congress, hindi pa natatapos. No? So sabi ko, very timely na sa pagbubukas ng bagong administrasyon at bagong Congress na nagsasabi rin na they are advocating din respect sa press freedom. I would like to propose, sir, no, that this body, this assembly, to approve a resolution to be signed by all these respected organizations, sir. Narinig ko rin kanina, no, si President Ticzon, minention na rin ito, that let us approve once and for all now, sending our voice to the Congress that we will push for the decriminalization of libel and calling on the members of the Philippine press to stand in solidarity for a free and independent journalism, free from any form of harassment, intimidation, and other repressive acts. I therefore move, sir, if we can have this adopted and approved now before paghiwa-hiwalay mamaya, no, ating mga organizations. Thank you, sir.
All right. Here, with all due respect, with the organizations, Federation of Provincial Press Club, Publisher Association of the Philippines, and Boracay Global Press Corps, and as KBP representative in NCR, as Chairman Emeritus, we would like to repair this position paper to the leaders so that perhaps in few minutes they can do and scrutinize the presentation and approval eventually, hopefully later on before the end of the open forum. Thank you. Meron naman kopya lahat ng ating mga leaders na mga head ng ng organizations. Okay, together with the convener himself, the convener of the said organization and group, the Johnny Dayang, will try and see if this is approved by the group. Thank you. Bobby?
Mr. Chairman, the resolution was formally presented. Can you please ask for any second on this resolution or any objection?
Yes, go right ahead. Any comments? And any second?
Second demotion.
Second.
Dr. Nestor Abrematia, Tacloban.
Dr. Nestor Abrematia from Tacloban, please recognize.
Yes, go right ahead, please. You are recognized.
Thank you. Thank you. I am fully supporting decriminalizing libel. You know, I'm already 57 years old, and I think 37 years na in the media. I started with NBC doon sa amin sa Tacloban. Then Philippine Star, Manila Bulletin, and now with Manila Times, and publishing also my Manila newspaper, Manila Newsweek, Tacloban Star, Golden Summer Bulletin. Alam nyo, ang sekreto na isa pa lang ako na libel, taga DPWH. Yung paano pa yung po si Chairman Corazon Alma de Leon, Chairman ng Civil Service Commission. Isinumbong ko yung taga DPWH kasi may kambing doon sa inside sa DPWH office. Sabi ni Chairman de Leon, ipaimbestigahan mo kasi yung kambing ata ginagawang pulutan ng mga taga DPWH at mga kontraktor. So pinambestiga ko, nang imbestigahan kasi na radyo on live sa DYBL, pagpunta doon ng mga investigator, wala lang kambing. So that was the only libel case that I encountered. Pero ngayon, wala na, isa lang. Ang sekreto naman ngayon, para hindi kayo malibel, hindi kayo mabaril, hindi mapatay, ang mga problema sa bayan nyo, sa mga opisina, huwag kayo ang magsosolve. Give it to the proper agency. Bakit? We have the Anti-Red Tape Act Authority. Ibigay nyo ang lahat ng problema kung si Director, si Colonel, si General, hindi umaaksyon sa mga letters nyo within 10 days, tawagan nyo ang Anti-Red Tape Act because they can be suspended for 6 months. Ang dami ko ng mga regional director, government officials, na pinaimbestiga dahil wala silang ID. Requirement yan to all government officials under Section 7 ng Anti-Red Tape Act. All government officials should wear ID. Hindi ba yung ginagawa ni Mayor Escomorino? He is complying with the Anti-Red Tape Act. Actually, para hindi kayo malibel, hindi kayo mabaril, isumbong sa Civil Service Commission, sa Anti-Red Tape Act, ang mga problema, sila ang sasalo. They will be the one to investigate. Yan yung suggestion ko. Comment, Mr. Rilangin.
Yes. Well taken.
Hindi ka magsasalita. Ibigay mo sa civil service, after that, may action, i-report mo na ito si Director, hindi nag-uniforme, hindi nag-ano ng ID, hindi masama yung ugali, hindi nagpapa-interview, hindi nagpapakapi sa media, nagtatago, hindi nagre-reply ng communication, because under the Anti-Red Tape Act, 10 days na lang. You have to reply the letter with action, or else the head of office is responsible for the misconduct of your employee. You can be suspended for 6 months. Basahin nyo yung batas. Anti-Red Tape Act Authority, Section 7. Kailangan ng mga government officials and employees should wear ID for them to be identified. At saka, every government agency should have citizens charter, even the barangay hall. Kailangan may citizens charter. Kung wala, the head of office can be held liable for violation of the law. Yan yung gawin nyo.
Okay,
that is
thank
my
you
advice. Basahin nyo yung Anti-Red Tape Act, yung mga batas. Nandyan. Hindi kayo babarilin, hindi ko kayo malalibel. Kasi yung government agency will be the one to to investigate this kalokohan sa gobyerno. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, well taken.
Meron pa pong iba? Sorry. Alma Rowena. Mr. Chairman.
Miss Alma, go right ahead. You have the
Good afternoon po sa atin lahat. Meron lang akong gustong i-share sa isang kasamahan natin na talagang nakita ko ito sa kanya. Kung alam niyo po, si Mr. Late George Sobierna, siguro kilala niyo dahil nga sa journal, publications. Nagkaroon po siya ng libel case against the Pinedas sa Pampanga. Ang nangyari, sumulat siya, kinater ng editor niya. So, lumabas ng istorya, nagkaroon siya ng libel ngayon dahil nga meron siyang nasabing hindi maganda. Pero di ba sa editor dapat yun, na-edit na, no? So, kasama din si editor kaya lang, ang napuruhan talaga was George Sobierna. Inaano po niya ito, dala-dala niya siya mag-isa. Ang question ko ngayon, paano matutulungan natin yung mga kasamahan na nagkaroon ng libel case? Dahil nga, siyempre nagtatrabaho siya para sa pamilya niya. Pero pagdating sa hearing, pupunta siya mag-isa, gagastos siya ng, kung baga sa talagang flight niya mag-isa, walang tumutulong. So paano ngayon yung ating mga kasamahan? Isa na nga ito sa natin na ipapano natin yung libel case ay yung ng ating libel para sa mga media group. Paano matulungan? Meron ba tayong isang organization or isang samahan or sinong samahan na makatulong sa isang taong may libel case na kasamahan natin?
Pau, pwede lang Pau.
Pau?
Pau, opo.
Yes, for legal aspect yun.
Yes.
Pero pagdating dun sa tulad niyan, mamamasahe siya. Dahil nga, ordinaryo news reporter lamang was George Sobierna.
Yung publication niya mananagot.
Ganon.
Opo.
Opo. Young, if I may share something, kadalasan ang publisher ay meron ding somehow contribution para maalalayan din po ang kanilang regular staff. I'm speaking of employees po. Kung sila po ang non-libel, dahil pagdating naman po sa mga kaso, kasama rin po ang editor at saka publisher, at sila po ay dapat expected na tumulong. Now, with the new group headed by Mr. Johnny Dayang, I suppose this organization would come up with another effort to support yung mga ganito mga encounters and challenges na umabot po sa ating mga practitioners.
Yes, dahil nga nakamatayan na nga po ni George Sobierna yung case na yon. Sa sarili lamang pong hanggang sa namatay siya, hindi pa natapos yung case. Pero siya lang mag-isa.
Yeah, naalala ko tuloy yung isang kaso po na libel na umabot po ito kinaigan, no? Kasamahan po natin dito sa GMA7. Kay Igan, Arnold Clavio, kasama niya noon yung kanyang co-host na si Miss Ali Soto. They receive the same, similar na complaint. Libel din po. But ang naging agony, naging problema po nila, i-final ito sa Mindanao. At kinakailangan every hearing, lumipad po sila patungo roon para mag-attend lamang ng hearing nito.
Expensive masyado.
Apo. And this was brought to my attention. And as a KBP Metro Manila chapter, medyo gumawa po ko ng off-the-box, non-traditional way, at pina-identify ko sino po nag-file ng libel. True enough, nakakuha ko ng channel, nakipag-dialogue ko sa kanya, ipinaliwanag ko ang sitwasyon. Ang sabi ko, ang makakaaway niya, lahat ng mga similar practitioners, frontliners, na mayroong ganitong format ng programa at kung mamarapati niya, baka pwede naman niyang pagbigyan na itong isang kaso ito. He gave way. Okay. At nawala na po yung kaso ni Arlo.
Maswerte sa kanila. Nandyan po kayo. Tumulong sa kanila. No?
Pero hindi always ganun, ha?
Yun nga po.
Alam po ninyo, meron po kaming expose na ginawa. Yung expose po ng mga youth shows dito sa Rose Boulevard before, yan, naging uso-uso po ito, yung mga sumasayaw na walang saplot sa katawan. In-expose po namin ito. In-identify po namin kung ano ang mga clubs. Initially, what we did, gumawa po kami ng formal letter doon sa nakasasabot na city, local government, LGU. Pasay, pinadala po namin sa Pasay. Parañaque, pinadala po namin yung letter sa Parañaque, sa office ng mayor. Nang sabi namin, nakuna namin, sapagkat nakuna namin talaga, yan ng hidden camera, sapagkat yung anak ko ay merong wireless na camera sa kanya sombrero, nakuna nila, and strong evidence na talagang merong ganitong build shows na nangyayari. And top to top, the same reason why nag-cooperate ang kumakalat ang mga cases ng drugs dahil yung pala mga sumasayaw, inaabutan muna ng drugs para lumakas ang loob at makuban on stage. Nung in-expose po namin ito, alam po ninyo kung ano sagot sa akin? 4 na butas ng aking sasakyan. Pinaputukan na hindi namin makilala nang nakapark ang aking sasakyan, 4 na butas ng bullets ang naging sagot na message nila. But hindi po kami tumigil. But of course, that's part of the challenge and that's part of consequences na maaaring mangyari sa mga nag-expose. Kaya importante talaga na ready po tayo sa mga consequences na yan.
Okay. So, kailangan pala mga kasamahan, maging ready tayo always.
Opo, aside po rito sa effort na ginagawa ngayon. Thank you, Ms. Alma. Thank you po.
Mr. Chair, Alan Ticzon has something to add. Please
Mr. Alan Ticzon, please.
Thank you, Sir Ray. This is something with that question of yours or query, Madam. I think you have to consult your press club in your area and be sure that your press club is a member of the Federation of Provincial Press Clubs of the Philippines, and we are very much willing to extend help. So, yung mga bagong press clubs dyan na hindi pa ho nagiging member, for the meantime, you have to contact rapidoalan0@gmail.com. Alam mo ninyo, I got this experience. Why I would like to encourage you people to join this Federation of Provincial Press Clubs of the Philippines. I would like to say sorry kay Chairman Sir Ray Langit sa KBP. I've been in the industry for more than 39 years now. And again, I started my career as a radioman when I was 16. From that very start of my career in Bombo Radio, nag-exam po agad ako sa KBP. So, ako ho ay nabigyan ng pagkakataon na miyembro ng KBP. A lot of encounters. 5 times po akong pinagbabaril. Unang pagkakataon, hindi ako tinamaan. I was then the station manager of DZRH Dagupan. Tinamaan tagtad ng bala yung mobile car ng DZRH. Ikalawa, nakakotse ako, tagtad ng bala yung kotse ko, hindi po ako tinamaan. Pangatlo po, binanatan ako, tinamaan kong isa patay. Pang-apat, binanatan ulit ako, hindi po ako tinamaan. Pang-5, bumagsak po ako sa 2 bala. Na hospital po ako. Hiningi ko ho ang tulong ng KBP during the time of Mr. Horalbal as President of Kapisanan o Broadcaster ng Pilipinas. Hindi po ako nabigyan ng pagkakataon. Ang sabi mo sa akin, nasa FM station ako that time. So what's the use of encouraging broadcaster whether they belong to FM or AM station? Kung nagbabayad ho tayo ng ating membership fee o dues yearly, kung hindi ho tayo matulungan. So ito ho yung project ko, being the President of the Federation of Provincial Press Clubs of the Philippines. Kung tayo ho ay magbibigay ng Diyos natin, sinisiguro ko na pakikinabangan po ninyo. So, hindi ko minamalayan o ano ang KBP kasi ako, ang puso ko pa rin, broadcaster po ako eh. So, please, join us. Tingnan po ninyo mga press clubs po ninyo sa iba't ibang lugar at ako ho ay magipagtulungan sa inyo. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you also, Alex.
Mr. Chairman, please recognize Greg Sineneng from Cebu.
Mr. Rick, you're recognized.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I rise to speak and be recognized in aid of proper legislation, because we are now talking on matters about motion, but like the moderator said, that these position papers, that we would like to have it to be adopted in a form of a resolution. However, we have not heard someone talking of sponsoring a final resolution. But if the speaker, Sir Jonathan, the proponent, would say he was the proponent likewise, there was nobody making the second. And so therefore, I would like to second. I but to seconded by... So that would be a second already. There was no words of manifestation placing it on second. So we should manifest that. So we are, as a matter of discussion, we are now to proceed on this matter of discussion so that at the end of this assembly, that could be our good output. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Engineer Saneneng. We would like to request, to give, let's give Sir Ray Langit a fairness, he has not laid a hand on, he lay a finger on his meal yet, so we would like to request you, sir, to please have your meal first. At this point, we would like to request Director General Charito Ching Plaza, who is now around, to have her keynote addressed.
All right.
While we are, let's have it a working lunch na lang. Medyo ano tayo sa time eh. So, sir, please.
All right. Thanks so much. And once again, let's welcome the former legislator, former Congresswoman, now Solicitor General of PESA, Honorable Charito Plaza. Palakpakan po natin.
I will have water. Mamaya.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
We would like to ask our colleagues to hold your fire, have your bombshells intact. After the speech of Director General Plaza, we will resume the session.
Noted. Sige. Tito Meng.
Thank you. Ikaw ba?
Okay, doon na.
Ako na ako.
Okay ka na dyan?
Oo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mike. Nako. So, magandang hapon po or tanghali na ba? Tanghali sa lahat. Mayong punto sa tanang mga Bisaya. Yes. Of course, I'd like to acknowledge the principal actors. We have the birthday boy with us, our chairman of the conveners group, Mr. Johnny Dayang. Kinuntahan na ba niyo ng happy birthday si Johnny? Okay. Then, of course, Nelson Santos, the president of the Publishers Association of the Philippines. Then we have Alan Sison, the president of the Federation of Provincial Press Clubs of the Philippines. Of course, Ray Langit. Ray has been my good friend ever since I was in Congress. Then, ganda naman ng ano mo, Ray. President of Boracay. So, palaging nasa Boracay ka, Mr. President. Global Press Corps of the Philippines. Roy Bato, my good friend, the president of the KBP of Calabarzon. Did you have Secretary Ople already? Yeah, okay. Ano lang siya, virtual. So anyway, we greet her as well. Dr. Cesar Chavez is also a good friend who was recently appointed to go back to his own job, no? The head of the railway of DOTR. Are we expecting Press Secretary designate Trixie Cruz Angeles, and of course the Executive Secretary designate the Honorable Vic Rodriguez. So sa lahat po ng mga tatlong host natin, no? Conveners, groups. Magandang tanghali po sa lahat, maingod po sa tanan. So I'll start with saying welcome to PEZA. PEZA is Philippine Economic Zone Authority. So ito po yung aming we call this the PEZA Auditorium. Dito po kami nagsiseminar, lahat po ng events, and then you will see around are the top 20 flags, country flags. No? Ito yung top 20 countries investing in PEZA. And then of course the various industry associations flags in that side. Because lahat po ng ating mga investors, they organize themselves into different sector associations. So like for example, lahat yung mga IT-BPO ay mga registered business enterprises sa PEZA. So they have what we call as the IBPAP. Then we have also SEFI. SEFI is the Semiconductors and Electronics, and most of the manufacturing enterprises are also members of SEFI. We also have the group we call as PHILEA. This is the Philippine Association of Ecozone Developers. Anyway, I'm very happy to host you all. Nung lumapit po si birthday boy, Johnny Dayang, and si Nelson, si Roy, hindi ko mahindian eh. Kasi matagal ko ng mga kaibigan ito, no? So, ako na po nag-offer, okay, come to PEZA. Akong bahala. Lahat, venue, pagkain, no? And then mamaya, meron tayong mga cash awards. Iraraffle natin to, para naman may ano kayo, mga pang-grocery pag-uwi. Wow! Pero raffle yun, kasi ano lang, kung ano yung kaya ko. Pero maganda naman kasi meron tayong 10,000 pesos, no? Kung sinong manalo doon. Meron tayong 5,000 pesos. No? So, marami ito. Kaya sana ay magiging memorable itong araw na to na we are gathered together. So, as mentioned by Ray, I was former congresswoman ng 1st District of Agusan del Norte, specifically sa Butuan. So, I was there in Congress for 11 years. 11 years po kasi yung unang term, transition Congress yun eh. 5 years kami yung time ni President Cory. Then 3 years thereafter. So, and while I was in Congress, aral po ako ng aral, walang himpo ng pag-aaral. Ang una ko pong natamo na degree, yung ating Masters in National Security Administration sa National Defense College of the Philippines. Kaya po, doon nagsimula ang aking pagiging commission officer. So now, I am holding the rank of Brigadier General. Ako po ay tinalaga ni Pangulong Duterte, no, through the recommendation of the Armed Forces of the Philippines to be the commander. Commander po ako, hindi po NPA commander. Commander po ako, at tinatawag namin kasi dyan ang position wing commander. Kasi nasa Philippine Air Force po ako. So ako po ay itinilaga ng Philippine Air Force, ng Armed Forces of the Philippines, which was confirmed by President Duterte to be the wing commander of Metro Manila. So itong ating tatlong press groups, no, I will be inviting you to join the military reservists. Napaka-importante po ng organisasyon na to dahil nasa Constitution po siya na ang ating Armed Forces of the Philippines is composed of the regular and the reserves. Ang regular po, kayang swelduhan yung mga full-time na mga sundalo, ito na yung Army, Navy, Air Force, no? Marines. Ang kaya lang po ng ating gobyerno is 20%. So, less than 200,000 lang po yung ating active force. So, kailangan na mas marami ang reserve force. So, in the law, dapat 80% should compose the military reservists. Hindi po tayo, ang ating role as reservist, hindi po na combatants tayo, no, na tayo ay dun sa kailangan pumatay, bumarel, etc. No? Although tuturuan tayo magbarel, kung alangan, no? Parang libel case ninyo. pag alangan yung mga sinasabi o alangan yung action natin or ng kalaban natin, kailangan marunong tayong lumaban. Kailangan marunong tayong lumaban. So, dito sa PESA, we are now 27 years old. Okay. We are now 27 years old. Itong PESA, actually, na-inherit namin yung dating EPSA, Export Processing Zone Authority. At itong ecozone, nagsimula talaga ito dito sa Asia, dito sa Pilipinas. It was envisioned by then President Marcos, no, the father Marcos, the father of BBM. Siya po ang nagsimula sa ecozone concept dito sa Asia. Then, halos sabay si Taiwan. Ito yung ecozone program ay ginagamit na ng iba't ibang bansa sa buong mundo, lalo na sa Asia, no? Itong ecozone program ang nagpayaman sa China. Ito ang programa na ginagamit ni China o strategy ni China to attract the investors of the world. No? Kung maalala nyo, ang tawag natin sa China dati was the sleeping giant. Giant because they have the biggest population, they have the biggest land area, no? It's a superpower. No? Anyway, ito yung ginagamit ni China to attract investments, to develop China. So anong ginagawa ng China? Lahat ng mga lupa sa China, binili ng gobyerno, di ba? So it's the state who owns all the lands. And then, nung nag-open up si China, meaning, minix niya yung communism and capitalism. So, when they opened during the time of Premier Deng Xiaoping, siya yung nag-open up sa China. So, he put together communism and capitalism. So communism because everything is owned by the government, controlled by the government. And I was lucky because kasi simula lang nag-open up si China, I was among the legislators who first visited China. So nakita ko pa yung mga traces of communism. Like one, nung sila pala ay pure communism, yung kanilang bahay, uniforme. Yung kanilang damit, uniforme. Uniform, no? Pareho lahat. Tapos, wala silang sweldo. Kaya kailangan nilang pumunta sa workplace, no, sa field, to plant, to work. Because doon ibabahagi ang pagkain. Ang rasyon sa pagkain, ang rasyon sa damit, rasyon sa medisina, doon dinidistribute. No? So kung ikaw ay may sakit or you feel lazy, hindi ka pupunta sa field, hindi ka makakain. Kasi wala silang sweldo. No? So you really have to work. So anyway, to cut the story short, nung tinansform nga ni Deng Xiaoping ang China, ang ginamit na estratehiya is to build economic zone. So wala silang kapital pa, no? Pero napakarami ng kanilang lupa. So the China government created committees who went around the world to invite investors. So merong committee na pumunta sa Amerika. So ang bilis, no? Kasi ang strategy ni China na how to attract investors by way of what? Incentives and subsidies. Yung ating mga taipan dito, no? Sila Lusyutan, SM, si mga C, Gokongwei, meron po silang economic zone sa China. Binigyan sila ng, like, I have visited Lusyutan's economic zone. Mga 50 hectares yata. Sabi ng gobyerno, Mr. Tan, libre, walang rental yung 50 hectares mo for 10 to 15 years. Tayuan mo lang ng township or pwede rin economic zone. Ikaw nang bahala maghanap ng mga locators o mga investors. So ang ginawa ni Lusyutan, tinayuan niya ng mall, no, mga commercial, and then yung kanyang Aton properties, di ba, meron siyang condominium, Aton ang pangalan. Tinayuan din niya doon. Then all others, ecozones naman ang nilagay nila, no? So wala ring rental for how many years. So binibigyan din ni China ng other incentives, like for example, murang-mura, no, when they started the economic zones program. Pinakamura ang kanilang salaries, no? Yung minimum wage rate, talagang mura, and then dahil marami silang oil, pwedeng subsidized power, pinakamurang power, and even to the extent of giving cash subsidy. Kung ang mga industriya or ang mga investor ay ang talagang kailanganin sa China, binibigyan pa ng cash subsidy ng gobyerno para maitayo yung kanilang mga industriya. Ang ibang probinsya, nag-i-invest pa sila ng sarili nilang stocks para makaupo ang kanilang mga opisyal sa board of the directors of the